Collectionneuse, Collectionneuse. If you're gonna relax on the Riviera with your best friend, you better hope that no women named Heidi are gonna be there. Yeah. Seriously, somebody help me with these intros. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get to the review, you know, because that's where I know how to fail mostly. Anyway, hello there, CriterioNate here, number 346, number 4 in the Eric Rohmer's 6 Moral Tales, La Collectionneuse, the collector, if you will. 1967, 87 minutes, color monaural French. Yeah, first color film with the man, with Mr. Rohmer. Although, again, this was made before My Night at Maud's because they were waiting on the actor to play Jean-Louis. Jean-Louis? No, I think I got it right, yeah. Anyway, so there's that, and yeah. So anyway, so we got the three main characters. Let's see, there's Adrian. Adrian's the narrator. And he is a antiques dealer, kind of art dealer kind of guy, and he all that stuff. And there's his friend Danielle, who's a painter, and Heidi, who's this kind of like runabout woman. I don't know, this woman who just kind of wanders in and out of relationships with guys, mostly sexual. But yeah, in the beginning of the movie, we see little prologues, and those are described in the book. In fact, I haven't even looked at the book. I'll flip through this while I'm telling you the guys' story. Yeah, so La Collectionneuse is, yeah, okay, all right, this is kind of neat. Yeah, this is a trip and a half how this works, because I definitely am going to. I think I'm gonna buy this just for these stories. It's really neat to have, like, a print version, and how well Rohmer sticks to the plot of these these versions. Like everything that's in here is in the movies, for the most part. So anyway, Adrian and Daniel, I should just say Daniel, because Danielle sounds like a girl, Adrian and Daniel are spending a vacation at this summer cottage on the Riviera. And what they don't realize is that when they get there, they find out that someone else is already there. This girl named Heidi, and so they meet. And apparently, they had met before at their friend Rodolfo's or something like that. And at first, neither of them are interested. They wanted to be by themselves. It was a guy's vacation maybe, and the presence of a woman would interfere. So at first they're like, and they really disgusted by the fact that she keeps coming back to their place with a new guy almost every night. She comes back really late, and all that, and they can't sleep and all that. So yeah, they're really disturbed by that. But eventually, they start crushing on her, and they start figuring out a way to bed her, for lack of a better term. And first it seems like, Daniel's very aggressive. Is a very aggressive, outspoken, and meanwhile, at the same time, Adrian is very laid back, but I think maybe a little more direct. So she kind of, and Heidi, on the other hand, they consider her a collector of men, and she completely denies it. She continually denies it throughout the movie. She just says that she's looking for something and all that. And I kind of want to look up the last bit of the movie. Okay. I'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, yeah. So the plot. So basically, that's basically the whole movie. It's just these three characters living with each other, and we get Adrian, talking about Danielle, and I guess Daniel and Heidi start to see each other a bit, and then but then he ends up, they both get on each other's nerves and all that. And so anyway, toward the end of the movie, Adrian has a deal with a collector, an American collector named Sam, who comes by. He's trying to sell him selling this Chinese vase, or no, it was a Japanese. It's a Japanese vase, and I forget the other vase, but I think he was selling them just the the Japanese vase went to Heidi. I think it was a Chinese. I think it might have been a Chinese vase that he was selling to Sam. But anyway, so Sam comes to their place, sees the vase, sees Heidi, says, "All right, I think he basically says, "I'll lower the price if you throw in Heidi too," you know. And so they all go back to Sam's place, and Heidi spends the night with Sam, and I guess nothing happens. So I guess Adrian just stays up all that night, and you know, in the end, like, I guess they finally start making out in the bathroom, and so it looks like that, you know, Adrian and Heidi are going to get together, but at the end, they're driving and they run into Danielle and a friend, and they try to convince her to come with them. I think they're going to the beach or something, and like, they're blocking traffic, and the guy pulls up behind Adrian and starts honking, and he's like, "All right, I'll move the car." And he moves the car, and he takes off, and he moves the car, and he just keeps driving. And he says something about, I'll read you this section from the book, because I'll read it here. Let's see if I can find it here. Let's see. Yeah. The truck behind me, which I was parked, pulled away, and by now a car pulled up behind me, blocked by me in front and by the car with the two boys to its left. I eased forward to let it by, with no other thought in mind but to be polite and to cut short Heidi's dallying with her two boyfriends. But I realized almost immediately that I was not going to stop, and that I was, for the first time, making a real decision. This tale is the story of my tacks and turns. My daydreaming ceased all at once, giving way to the dream I had harbored, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, but when he gets back to the resort or whatever, the house, and he's alone for the rest of the period, and he realizes that he starts getting anxious and he can't sleep, and so he books a flight to London, and that's the end of the movie. So yeah, I think this might be my favorite of the four we've seen. I think this might be the best. I was unsure how to feel about Heidi at first, because she has a really awkward bikini. You know, her bikini like top is like folded up in weird places. But she's actually really cute. And her smile, and, you know, her smile is really cute and all that. So I'm like, that's, you know, it took a while for her to grow. When she smiles, it works, you know. And I could see what Adrian and Daniel saw in her. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, just the whole story. Adrian's character is interesting. I love his narration, and yeah, I just think this was probably the strongest of the four we've seen so far. So if I was ranking them, it'd be this one, then Suzanne's Career, and then Baker Monceau, and then My Night at Maud's. So, but we've still got two more, of course. We'll get to those tomorrow and Friday. And yeah, so anyway, La Collectionneuse, A. Give it an A. We may have to buy this. We may have to buy this box set. But we shall see, because, again, I'm not sure how I feel about Claire's knee. I think that one may break me. But we'll see what that's all about tomorrow. How long is it? 106 minutes. I'll tell you that again tomorrow. Anyway, supplements. There's a short film by Rohmer called Modern Coed. He did it in '66. It's basically just a little documentary piece about, I guess, French girls going to college and the classes they take and all that. I guess back in the '60s, you know, the number of women in college had increased significantly within the decade or something like that. And yeah, so it's just a little short piece about, you know, just all the different, just filming a bunch of women in classes and all that. So anyway, then there's a episode of the show Parlo Cinema, and it's features Rohmer talking about La Collectionneuse. It's from 1977. about 50 minutes. And yeah, he talks about a few of his other films, but there's a good section on Collectionneuse. And the trailer, and that's about it. So there you are, La Collectionneuse. Hey. Alright, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow we got Claire's Knee, and we'll do that tomorrow. Morals. Don't break vases. I'm talking to you, Heidi. Don't break vases. And don't be afraid to take charge of a situation that you ain't comfortable in. You know, don't be afraid to move that, to keep driving, you know, if you will. And what else? I know there's others. I bet you that's probably it. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, don't break faces, and don't be afraid to keep driving. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for Claire's Knee. And until then, goodbye.